creating the content that you want to create, okay? So I have a CapCut cheat sheet that I totally forgot to print out for you guys. However, I have a QR code that if you guys use it, you're able to download the CapCut cheat sheet for later on in the future, okay?
Hey, Claudia, if you want to send it to me too.
Okay.
I can make sure we have it on the table for next time.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and were you guys able to download CapCut onto your phones or tablets or computers? Okay, so this is the QR code for the cheat sheet if you want to go ahead and download that now. It will be available to you guys next time you come in. So let me know when everyone is ready. Okay, so today we're going to be learning the basics of CapCut. We're going to learn how to create a new project, import your media, and then start creating your timeline, also adding text, music, and a couple of effects, okay? So I will be using the free version of CapCut so that way you guys can see what is available without having to pay the monthly fee. Now that monthly fee, I believe, is $10 a month. That's what I'm paying at least. So it is worth it because there's so many more options that you have on the pro version than what you have on the free version. Okay, so everyone do me a favor and open up CapCut for me. Once you open it up, you're going to have the option of a new project. So I've already created my project that I'm going to be editing with you guys. The great thing about CapCut is you could actually download, if you're using a camera, you could actually download your camera footage from here. And this is something that I took during our Sunday service this past Sunday. So when you create your project, you're able to upload as many clips as you want to. You can add picture in it if you want. And then from there, this is your timeline. In order to make changes in your timeline, if you want to, let's say, cut it to a specific place, you'll tap on your video and there is a split option, okay? And now we've made this clip from the long 20-second video to a 3-second video. And let's say you want to add another clip in between it. If you tap and hold the clip that you want to move and rearrange, you can take that and put it in the location that you want to have it in. So now your video can cut from there to here, okay? And then you can split that again and just rearrange the videos how you want. Now, with this specific video, she's actually on my social media team, one of the teams that I have, and she asked me for a specific audio to go with that. So if you want to add an audio, you'll untap your video so that way you can see the different options at the bottom where you're able to tap on audio, text, overlay, effects, captions. You'll see all of those options available at the bottom. For me right now, I'm going to add audio. So when I tap on audio, you'll see different options here. What I love about the mobile app for CapCut is that you're actually able to extract audio from any video that you have on your phone. So a bit of a cheat sheet, a bit of a, I guess, hack that I use whenever I can't find an audio on the audios that they already have available is I'll go to YouTube, find the audio, I'll screen record it, and then use that screen recording to extract the audio from it. So that is something that you can do, and that's what I did in this particular, let me see if I can find her audio. Here it is. So now that I have the audio, the way I like to edit and what I find easier for me is I like to edit video, especially if it's a video that doesn't have a voiceover in it or anybody speaking. I like to edit my videos with the audio itself, so that way it looks a little bit more seamless. So if this is a behind the scenes video or a video of, let's say, you working and things like that, where you're not speaking directly to the camera or you don't have a voiceover on it, this is what I would recommend. So from here, I can decide how I want to edit that. And that is how you would extract and add audio from here. Now, if you don't have a video that you want to extract audio from, then you have the option to look at the sounds that they have available. You'll see a lot of trending audio. Now, all the audios that they have here are specifically so that way you can use it for commercial use. So all of them you're able to use freely on Instagram, Facebook, and you're not going to get flagged for it. So that's the beauty about using the audio that they already have available. Now, just a sidebar, on Instagram, if you have your profile as a creator's profile or a business profile, and you happen to upload a video that is copywritten, let's say a Beyonce song or something like that, the great thing that Instagram has implemented is that they'll automatically add your audio to the audio that they have on Instagram, so you're not going to get flagged at all for it. So that's the great thing. So if you're going to be using that kind of music, I would recommend to change your profile from a regular person's profile to having a creator's profile or a business profile. Preferably creators, because business does have a limited amount of audio that you can use from their selection. So creator's profile is always the way to go. Okay. So from there, if you see at the bottom, anytime that you want to change the type of effect that you're going to be using or what you want to do on your video, you'll either need to tap or you can go to the audio here. The great thing is you can also fade into the music. It gives you more of a dramatic thing, or you can fade out. You can play with the volume, which is what I recommend to do, especially if there's somebody speaking and you're adding background music, you'll want to bring this all the way down. And from what I've noticed on CapCut is that when you bring your audio down as background music, I would recommend to keep it under 8, because other than that, it becomes overpowering and you're not able to hear what the person on the video is talking about, okay? So you can adjust as you want. Yes? Absolutely. Let me actually show you how to do that. So I have a voiceover that I had to do for a class project. Let's see which one I want to use. No, that's not it. We'll use this one. Okay, so here, so you see where there's 2 options for the audio? Your background music should always be at the bottom, because you want the other audio, your voiceover or the person speaking, you want them to be you want to hear them more than you want to hear the background music. So the background music should always come at the bottom. If not, you're going to hear more of the background music than you actually speaking. So from here, let me bring the volume down. You can adjust the volume on each of them like this. So if I need to bring my voice up higher, I could do that. You are capable. So that one already had background music on it. I forgot about that. So you are capable. So then you can adjust this volume if you want to bring it up higher. You can adjust the volume in the voiceover if you want to bring it up higher. And if you haven't recorded a voiceover, you can record the voiceover on CapCut. So if you want to, you can edit your video of, let's say, a day in the life, right? You can edit your video, and then from here, you can actually create your own voiceover. Let me find it. You can. So on the mobile app, it's a little bit more complicated. If you have your desktop version, which is what I recommend, if you want to do more, if you want to have more freedom to do things like on the desktop, you're able to put markers, and within those markers, you can change the levels. Here is a little bit more complicated. You got to do a couple more things. Like, for example, you can split this, bring the volume down on this to the desired volume that you want. Let's say you want it at 4, and then this one you would change it to 3, right? So then you would be able to hear the different. So what I don't like about the mobile app when it comes to playing with the audio, it's not as seamless. So on the desktop version, when you put your time markers on there, it'll flow with the levels of the audio, so it sounds better. On your mobile app, you're going to hear, like right here, for example, this is a level 4, and then you see how that wasn't a smooth transition, and it's because of that. Now another trick that you can use if you're trying to just use your mobile app is you could, for example, bring this to a fade in, so then it can go. That sounds a lot better, right? So that is a hack that you can use on your phone if you're if you're on the go and you don't have time to pull out your desktop, or you don't have the desktop app, then that is one way that you can help with the transitioning of the audio. So that's the only thing. You have to split it up, bring down the volume the way you want to, and then I would always recommend to add the fading, so that way it transitions a little bit better with the audio. Okay? Yeah. Sure. Yes. Yes, you can actually go ahead and do that on the desktop version. You have so many more options. You can play with everything a lot better on the desktop version. Okay?
What app are you talking about?
This is CapCut. Yes, ma'am.
It's called a crossfade?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to delete that. Okay, so right here, when you don't have any audio, if you see at the bottom, you can actually record whatever you want to record here. And then it gives you the option to be able to, as the video is playing, allow. So it's timing me down. And then I can actually speak as the video is going. So if you're trying to do a day in the life with a voiceover on it, you can do it as you're watching the video. So that way you're speaking with all the events that are going on, okay? You can stop that, and now, and then I can actually, and from there you can adjust however you want to, okay? All right, so let's talk about adding texts, right? So the text option, you have to not be tapping. I remember when I first started using CapCut, I'd be like, what are the other options? I remember seeing them at the bottom. And I realized that when you're tapping on whatever you're using, whether it's the audio or the video, it gives you completely different options. So make sure that you're not on your video, so that way you can see the other options available. So from here, we're going to go to text. And you can either add your title at the very beginning just by adding a text, right? And the great thing is that you can, let's say, Sunday service is going to be my title. Okay? put that, and I can put that wherever I want to. And then here at the bottom, you'll see that there are different templates that you can use that are already made for you. A lot of these are the pro version though, unfortunately. And the ones that don't have the animations are the free version. So I can change that however I want to. Now let's say you want to use a template, but you don't like the font that is available. You can change the font with the same template that you're using. So you go to fonts. And as that loads, okay, so you go to fonts, and these are the fonts that they have available. The great thing is on the mobile app and on the desktop version is you can add your own fonts. So if you have a font that's specifically to your brand that you've downloaded from the font or these other places where they're free downloads, you can actually upload them into your phone. And I think I might have some in my folder. So it'll bring up all of the fonts that I have available on my phone itself, and I can choose whichever one I want to, open it, and now that font is added onto my options of the fonts that I want to use. And as you can see, the font changed, but I'm still using the same template. You can play with how big you want to use it. There are different styles. Under the style option, you can choose from the colors that you want to use. I'm using a template, so it's not allowing me. Let's go back and remove the template. Okay, let's go back to fonts, styles. So once I remove the template, you'll have more options. You can change the color of the text. You can change the size of it. It won't let me change the size. Okay. You could change the opacity. Then you can go to brand colors. If there's any colors that you want to choose specifically for your brand, you can set it up in CapCut, and then it's easier. You don't have to think about it. You choose your brand colors, and you can keep it moving. There are different effects that you can use on your text, so you can make it glow. And again, a lot of these are on the pro version, unfortunately. Yes?
Is it possible to add like an intro slide before, like if you wanted to have something that had like just some text before the video? Can you do an intro slide on this one?
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely can. And it can be as simple as, this is what I do a lot. So for example, I'll put Canva. I'll download this. Oh no, I didn't mean to download all of them. Hold on. Like this is going to be my intro. And it could even be your logo and things like that. Or if you have a transparent logo, I'll show you guys how you can use that as an overlay. So if you don't have, do you have a question? Yes. Yes, it does. It does. That's another thing that I love about it. I use Canva and CapCut religiously all the time for everything. So for example, here we can add the photo that I just downloaded. And now we can add an animation to this if you want to. For example, we can fade in. You can choose how long you want that fade to be. Another animation that you can use is something like that. You have a lot of different options. I like to keep it simple. I don't like to do too many crazy things. In my opinion, the least that you do on your video when it comes to different effects, the more professional it looks, and that's kind of how I like to present my videos. Okay, so you can actually even, for example, you can put this as an overlay, and if you had a transparent, you can actually remove the background on here if you have it. So manually, this is going to be terrible, but hey, boom, and then it'll make it more transparent than what it was, which wasn't too much of a difference, right? But if you choose that, you can, here it is. you can use that as an overlay, and now it's something that you can put over your video. So this will be really great too if you're in the middle of, maybe you're educating your audience on something and you want to show them, I don't know, the tripod that you're using for the content that you're creating. You can take a screenshot of that picture from Amazon, and then as you're talking on the video, you can say the picture is going to pop up right here, and then you can use an overlay of that picture to show them the example that you're looking for. So that's an option that you have also. Sure.
That menu that allowed you to select that as an overlay was down at the bottom once you clicked on that particular part of the video that you wanted, or you went to Canva, which I don't remember, you went to another app and imported it. Is that?
So that was just for the example. But you can actually, let me show you how to do it when you want to. So let's say you forgot to add a picture or the introduction or your logo on here. You can choose where in your video you want to put it. You'll tap on the plus sign, and now you have the options to choose. So for example, I can use this right here. You can tap on that picture again, and if you scroll to overlay, now it pretty much does the picture-in-picture effect. You can change the size, you can add it on there, things like that. Okay? An easier way to do that is you can actually put an overlay as an overlay instead of having to add that onto the timeline. And it'll be when you go to the main part and you're not tapping on the video, you'll select overlay, add overlay, select the picture that you want, and then it does the same thing. That would be the quickest route to do it. Sure, absolutely. So, we're not tapping on any of the videos. You'll have all the options at the bottom. The overlay option is right in the middle. You'll tap on that. It'll give you the option to add the overlay. You can even add a video on top of another video if you wanted to. Okay? Then you'll add the picture there and do it like that. Now let's say you are using I'm going to show you guys what I did on one of my videos. Where is it at?
While you're looking for that, I have a question.
Sure.
The overlay, when you select it, does it automatically size down, or can you manipulate the size?
You can manipulate the size, which is what I recommend, because it'll always pop up way bigger than what it needs to be. Yeah. On the desktop version, you could actually change the size. So for example, let's say you have an introduction that's a little bit more cinematic, right? And you want the picture that you're placing, the overlay that you're placing on top of it, to grow as the music grows on the desktop with the timestamps on there. You can actually use it to make it grow slowly, make it grow faster, things like that. No, that's actually on the desktop version. You have more freedom. Oh, I should have downloaded that and showed you guys. It's not an effect. It's actually when you tap on the picture itself, there is an automatic menu on all the videos and pictures, and on there it'll allow you to, you'll say add marker. You'll place the marker there, place the marker where at the end of the picture, and then it allows you to zoom in. So then it'll slowly zoom into the size that you want it to. So the desktop version has more of that freedom. Unfortunately, the mobile one does not, but that is an option that you have. So let me see this one. Nope, that's not it. This one, here it is. Nope. Here we go. So let's say you have a video like this, right? And as we know, on Instagram and TikTok, it looks a little funny whenever you upload a video like this, right? So you can tap on the video, and when you scroll at the bottom, unfortunately this is a pro version, but I'm going to show you how you can do it on the free version, okay? You can select auto reframe, select the size that you want, and it will automatically find you in the video. Sometimes it can be a little slow, but once you show up, once it detects you, it'll automatically bring it down to the ratio size you want to have it in. Now, if you don't have the pro version and you want to know how to get that same effect on the free version, you're going to go down to aspect ratio. On aspect ratio, you're going to choose the one with the TikTok sign. You're going to tap on the video, and then you're going to zoom in, so that way now it'll be the right ratio for TikTok and Instagram. Okay? Any questions? Am I going too fast? Y'all good? Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. So we're going to start over.
And it's going to do that for the length of the selection that you
The whole entire video.
and that's what you call aspect ratio.
Yes, that's aspect ratio. So again, you're not going to tap on the video. You're going to see at the bottom right here, aspect ratio. And then you have different options that you have available here. You can even turn this into a regular carousel if you wanted to for Instagram. In this case, we're going to choose the TikTok. Once we've selected that, you're going to select the video. And all you're doing is zooming in. And then the great thing is you have the freedom of moving it around, so that way you have it where you want it to be at. Okay, and there you go. Now you have it on the side, the right ratio for TikTok and Instagram. Now let's get into the effects. So the effects, you have a couple different options, right? You have photo effects that you can add onto the video, onto pictures that you add on the video. I don't use that one too much. I do use the video effects option. And here you'll have different options that you can use. I use this mostly for openings and closings, and it's my way of creating my own transition in CapCut too, instead of using the transitions that they already have available. So in this case, let's say I want to blur in, right? I want it to give it a blurred effect. And then I want it to focus. You have that option here. You can also change the size of the blur, the intensity of the blur, how fast you want it to blur. And there's different options that you can change on here too. Like maybe I don't want those hearts like that, but I do like the way the blur looks. Then we can change that on here. We also have body effects. These are really interesting. You can use these as transitions. That's what I like to use them for. And it's something a little bit on a professional level. You're probably not going to use these very often. But here's an option that you have. Or that option. Let me see. It's not sure. Let me go right here. It should do it. There you go. It needs to detect you so that way it can do the body effect. So this is specifically just on a person. It's not necessarily for the entire video. This is just to distort your own, it's a body effect, your own body, or if you want to have, I don't know, electric bolts going through your body, things like that, you can do it on these type of effects. And you can use as many effects as you want to. The effects aren't very long. They're meant to be short for a reason, so that way, I don't know, let's say you're editing a music video and you want to go from one effect to another, this gives you the ability to do that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why would we use transition and effects? You talked about that. What's the purpose of that?
The purpose for that is to go from one frame to another. So let's say, okay, I'm walking through here. Okay. And then now I'm sitting at the pond. And guys, I have a lot of videos. Don't judge me. This is what I do all day, every day. It is really bad. It is so bad. I have nothing but church content and my children in here. Lord, hold on. We getting closer. I got the highest storage possible on my phone, guys. It's necessary. Oh my gosh, where's my videos? Oh, I'm on photos, that's why. Okay. So we will choose, where are my videos? Okay, let's say I'm transitioning from that to being in my office, right? So in this case, I can add, either you can add a transition by tapping on that white box with the transitions that they have available here. If you don't see a transition that really represents how you want it to switch from one scene to another, then this is a perfect place to use one of the effects. So I can use a video effect here, and it can be, let's say I want something, let me see. Let's get ready to celebrate. Let's see, maybe I wanted a blurred lens. We get ready to, so I can, what I'll do is I'll go from here to here. So I'll go, when you're tapping that, there's a blurred event to celebrate. And that's one way that you can transition it. Or we can do a body effect like we did earlier. And no, we get ready to celebrate. This is another way to do it. We get ready to celebrate our 13th. That's one way that you can use the transition. I use transitions specifically when I am going from, when one of my frames is completely opposite from the other one, and I want to show the transition in an exaggerated form. That's when I'll use transitions. A lot of the times, in, for example, another video that I created like this, it was all the same setting, just different shots. I didn't really use a transition on here. It was more so I can use a cut, which is just going from one frame to another. All right. Do we have any other questions? Nope. Yes.
If I'm just getting started, how long should I expect it to take me to
Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna take some time, okay? I have gotten it down to where I can edit a video within 15 to 20 minutes on here. Right, doing this with my phone. This is pretty quick for me. When you're first starting, I've had people come to me and they're like, I spent 2 hours editing this video. It gets better, guys, I promise it does. It's a headache, but it does get better, especially once you start recognizing, at least me, I have a process. I know what transitions I use, what transitions I don't use. I already know what tools I use the most. I use text the most. I use captions the most. I use overlays the most. So, I'm sorry?
Can you save those, all your preferences? Is there a place where you can go where you can your go-to?
Not on the mobile app, unfortunately. On the desktop, guys, if you want more options, that's the way to go. Not on the phone, but it's kind of like when you learn how to text, a lot of us could actually not look at the phone sometimes and learn how to text. That's what happens here. The more you do it, the more accustomed you know where the tools are at, and the faster and quicker it is for you to find them. Right now, as you're starting, you're just kind of getting the hang of it. You're kind of trying to figure out what your style of editing is and things like that, right? So it might take you a little bit longer in the beginning, but I promise it gets better, okay? Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
every time I come?
Where's the beginning? Okay. So, were you able to download CapCut onto your phone or tablet or anything? Okay. So, in the very first session that we had, oh, you missed that one. That makes sense. It's all right. I got you. So, do you know how to use QR codes and everything to download things from? Okay, perfect. So, let me go home. Again, guys, I have a lot of stuff in my Canva. Don't judge me.
No judgment here.
Hold on, let me find it. Scroll, here it is. So I had, here it is. Let me zoom it in for you. So this is the QR code to be able to download CapCut. So if you guys have not downloaded CapCut, go ahead and get that.
Might have to zoom in a little bit. There you go.
Got it? All right. Okay, so I believe that we have a guest here. Oh, sure. Absolutely. Got it? Awesome. Okay. Any other questions before we move on? Yes, ma'am?
I know this may sound like a weird question, but how do you determine how much of your content is video versus still image versus?
Me personally, for my own personal content, I just like to go from video to picture. That's just my process. Like if we go to my Instagram, don't judge my emails, guys. I have a lot of emails. I know y'all was looking at it and judging me. Okay. So, for example, for me, you'll see that I'll go from either I might have a bunch of video or I'll go from picture to video to picture to video. And that's just what my preference is. And then it also determines on who I'm trying to speak to. Ooh, wrong Instagram. It also determines on who I'm trying to speak to and what I'm trying to convey in my message. So whenever I do pictures, a lot of the times it's to recap something. So for example, here I was recapping our first session. And then from there, to give my people a little bit more insight, I did a little video. And I was transparent in my caption where, I talked about how crazy it was that I was teaching a class because I was so nervous to do it, guys. You should have seen me. I was hyperventilating for a whole week. It was bad. And I couldn't believe that people were going to sit here and, listen to what I had to say. So I was a bit transparent on there. And then here is a competition that I had. It was just a recap of pictures that I took during that competition. And then this video specifically was, hey, here was the process of me taking the picture. So that's kind of how I do it. I'll do my pictures, my recap, and then I'll give you my process or the behind the scenes of it.
Well, content Claudia, I don't think we ever knew you were that flexible. All on the ground and getting shot, you were dedicated.
I climbed a tree once. Yeah. When it's to get the shot, I will do whatever it takes. It's bad. It's actually probably not great for my health. But okay, guys, thank you so much for coming to this class. After we have a presenter coming up. Mary Kate. Hi, and she's going to show you guys, or tell you guys a little bit about some resources that you have here. There's actually an editing lab and a green room that you can use, so she's going to give you all that information. And then after that, if you guys have any questions, feel free to come up to me, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you guys, okay?